Step into the arena, where legends were born, rivalries were carved into history, and every fatal strike shook the gaming world. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection isn't just another compilation. It's a time machine that brings us back into the roots of one of the most iconic fighting game franchises ever made. From 1992 to 2003, these games defined arcade culture. From 1992 to 2003, these games defined arcade culture, sparked controversy, and raised the bar for brutal combat. Now they're returning in one definitive collection, sharpened and preserved by Digital Eclipse, ready to deliver a knockout into an entirely new generation. And here on Infinity Gaming, we're about to dive deep into the blood-soaked legacy that changed fighting games forever. When the Legacy Collection was revealed, it didn't just land as another game announcement. It detonated like a thunderclap across the fighting game community. And to hear that the earliest chapters of the series would be reborn in one unified collection instantly became headline news. This wasn't a mere trip down memory lane. It was a resurrection of raw, untamed energy that once drove arcade crowds into a frenzy. Imagine the atmosphere, the buzz of CRT monitors, the echoes of token-hitting coin slots, and the roar of a crowd gathered around a cabinet as someone landed a finishing blow. That spirit is being bottled and delivered to us in 2025. For veterans of the franchise, the announcement was a call to arms, an invitation to return to the arenas where friendships were forged and rivalries ignited. And for the new blood, it was a promise that the roots of Mortal Kombat are still as dangerous, brutal, and captivating as ever. December 12, 2025 isn't just a date on the calendar. It's the kind of moment you circle in red, highlight, and count down the days towards. On that morning, across living rooms and game stores worldwide, fighters will finally place their hands on the physical edition of Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. It's more than a release, it's a cultural milestone. The return of the series that not only sparked heated arcade battles, but also redefined the meaning of controversy in gaming. For over 30 years, Mortal Kombat has thrived on spectacle and anticipation. And this shipping date feels like the rekindling of that exact energy. You can almost hear the whispers of finish him rolling through the air already. For longtime fans, this is a chance to physically own the blood-stained history of Mortal Kombat in one pristine package. A relic that holds more than games. It holds decades of memories. And for collectors, it's a treasure that screams legacy. One of the most powerful decisions behind the Legacy Collection is its inclusivity. No matter where you fight, you won't be left behind. PS5, Xbox Series X/S, PC, and just not one, but two Nintendo platforms. The current Switch and the incoming Switch 2 are all in the battle. This reach ensures that Mortal Kombat's history touches every corner of the modern gaming battlefield, just like it once did in arcades scattered across the globe. Think about that impact. In the 1990s, Mortal Kombat cabinets spread from the United States to Europe, to Japan, to South America, everywhere. The sound of screams and bone-crushing echoes followed. Now in 2025, that global footprint is reborn digitally and physically, making sure every warrior, whether handheld, console, or PC, gets the chance to step back into the legacy arenas. For the first time in decades, the old-school combat experience will unite all fighters under one banner, regardless of where they play. But here's the curveball. Physical copies may arrive first, but the digital edition lingers into the shadows, planned for later 2025. At first, it might sound unusual, but in a way, it's poetic. Mortal Kombat was born in the age of tangible tokens, physical arcade machines, and face-to-face competition. Launching physical editions first feels like a deliberate homage to the origin, giving fans something real and something you can hold, before the convenience of digital access comes into play. It builds anticipation, almost like waiting in line at an arcade, staring over someone's shoulder, desperate for your turn to step up and fight. This staggered release creates two waves of hype, one in December, when the first warriors return to battle, and another later when the digital floodgates opened for everyone else. It's not just a release strategy, it's a clever way to remind us of the old thrill of waiting and how good it feels when that wait finally ends. Of course, none of this would hold weight without the team behind it. Digital Eclipse is known across the industry as masters of preservation, historians disguised as developers. Their work on classic collections like Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection proved they understand what fans want. Accuracy, respect, and accessibility are their trademarks. With Mortal Kombat Legacy Kollection, their role is not just technical, it's cultural. They're caretakers, carefully rebuilding these games for a modern audience without stripping away that grit that made them iconic. Expect filters, museum-style extras, and perhaps even behind-the-scene history that gave us new insight into how these legends were made. For them, this is more than a project. It's an act of preservation, a chance to enshrine the most controversial and celebrated fighting games of all time for the next generation. When Digital Eclipse says they're preserving the past, they mean every drop of blood, every scream, and every iconic moment. It all started in 1992. The first Mortal Kombat wasn't just another fighter, it was a revolution. Digitized actors brought an eerie realism. Every punch and kick carried weight, and the fatalities became a cultural shockwave. Crowds gathered in arcades not only to play, but to witness. That single game ignited debates in living rooms, courtrooms, and even the halls of Congress, forever etching Mortal Kombat into the history of gaming. Mortal Kombat 2 and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 pushed everything further. Bigger rosters, smoother combat, more creative fatalities, and secrets that made players dig endlessly. These sequels transformed Mortal Kombat from a phenomenon into a dynasty. What started as a new fighter quickly evolved into one of the deepest, most competitive, and stylish experiences of its time. 1997's Mortal Kombat 4 dared to step into new territory. The transition to 3D gave players more room to move, new strategies to master, and weapons that added fresh layers of chaos to the fights. It wasn't perfect, but it was bold, and it showed that Mortal Kombat would never settle, always ready to evolve with the times. By 2002, the franchise delivered Deadly Alliance, a game that rewrote the rules. With the shocking death of Liu Kang and a dual villain partnership between Shang Tsung and Quan Chi, the series took on a darker storytelling than ever before. The multiple fighting stances and reworked mechanics gave players more control and depth, making every character feel like a new weapon in the arsenal. Then came Mortal Kombat Deception, a title that shattered expectations. Not only did it bring back brutal combat, but it layered on fresh modes like Conquest, Puzzle Combat, and even Chess Combat. It was experimentation at its finest, a bold attempt to make Mortal Kombat not just a fighter, but an entire universe of experience. And it worked, expanding the series into new horizons while staying true to its bolt-soaked roots. Mortal Kombat Legacy Kollection is more than just a package of classic games. It's a monument to where it all began. For me, this isn't just history, it's personal. I remember playing Mortal Kombat as a kid in the most unexpected places. From laundromats with the smell of detergent in the air, to the neighborhood bodegas buzzing with life. Those arcade cabinets weren't just machines. They were battlegrounds where legends were born, where I first learned the thrill of victory and the sting of defeat. To see these games return, sharpened and preserved for a new era, feels like stepping back into those moments all over again. And that's the magic of Mortal Kombat. It's not just a game, it's a shared legacy passed down from generation to generation. Still just as brutal, still just as unforgettable. December 12, 2025 is more than a release date. It's the day we bring the past roaring back to life. If you enjoyed this Mortal Kombat breakdown, the latest speculations, reviews, new games, and even the games that don't always hit the mark, I'm here to give it all to you. Subscribe to Infinity Gaming, like this video, drop a comment below with your own Mortal Kombat memories, and most importantly, share this with your fellow gamers. I'll see you on the next one. Infinity Gaming, out.